Oh, I got off the road to warm up. The reason is it's so cold that even my heater full blast at the feet, I mean, there's kind of currents coming in from my feet anyways. And I never got a straight answer on this, but I think my radiator fan is always turning. There's nothing that switches it off if if the liquid is, not hot. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Never get a straight answer. Still got my check engine light on. It seems a bit less powerful, my engine right now. Could be like one of the 8 cylinders is not working great. I don't know. Like, I know in the last couple of years I asked estimates for getting a tune-up, a complete tune-up, which is hard to open this side of the panel to get to this side of the engine here, by the way. It'd be a lot of work. I could help with that. If somebody wants to talk and negotiate and say, we'll charge you this price if you'll do this work to prepare it, and this is only covering this if we find other issues. Like, nobody wants to communicate at human standards to be specific. So because nobody's giving me a price on a tune-up that would include changing all my spark plugs, for example, and other things, checking my carburetors and my carburetor, and then I don't know, and I can't afford to trust people that speak the same language as me but don't want to make that effort. So now I'm getting more heat, but I wanted to stop in the sun because it's really hard to warm up in the shade, and I was in the shade a lot. Look at the wind. It's pretty cold out there. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know if I'll have access to heat. I'm looking for the elusive Homo sapien again, and if I find at least one, I tell you, we would both have less hardships. It's not that I'm an Homo sapien that I have hardships. It's that I'm by myself among the Homo communia, because just another Homo sapien would be helpful for us to collaborate in ways. I want to say about driving, sometimes I think with the people primates that have car keys or truck keys, and it seems almost safer to go on the red than the green now. Like, one guy, he's still going. It's like, I got my green already. I'm not moving. And then I honk the horn so he notices and everybody else notices. I don't know if I prevented the accident with the horn, but he was just enjoying the view, in Salmon Arm. And it's a nice view, but when I'm not going to fight for democracy where I'm the only one following the rules of the road. This intersection wasn't changing the light. I was there a long time. I moved. Somebody else shows up. It's not changing. I'm considering going on a red because I'm burning a lot of fuel. And I'm inhaling fumes. If I'm not moving, I'm inhaling more fumes for this expensive fuel. And the exhaust leak in one of my manifolds, which could be getting worse, which could be a little bit why I'm losing power. And I'm afraid to turn it off now. Took a long time to warm up that it doesn't stall compared to usual. It is colder. I've been asking to put a thinner oil, and the last oil change just didn't bother having that conversation with me. They just want to put exactly the specs, because they'd have to order, or they don't want to bother looking at putting an older mileage, thicker one, whatever it is. A lot of places would do that when I ask. I'm the customer, but I'm supposed to do what they say because they, everybody thinks they know the best, and they don't ask enough questions, doctors or mechanics, to see what I know about the history of my own body or my own vehicle. So I'm going to check on the Musicho a little bit soon. It's too late to check the oil. The poor Musicho is being asked to do things that it doesn't really want to do. And you guys agree with me, and you care more about my vehicle than you care for me. But you don't criticize me for caring about it and wanting to check on it more than you guys check on your vehicles. And it's weird because, you don't care about me as much as you care about my own vehicle, which, you don't make use of. So, yeah, so I'm proud of a lady that was driving a Class 4 size school bus that didn't pass me in the construction zone leaving Salmon Arm. And I'm proud of a truck, Canadian Pacific, they can go on the railroad tracks as well, who didn't pass me in a construction zone way out of Salmon Arm. There was one tractor trailer that I thought was patient behind me, but at one point I still want to let him go because I still want to go slower than, the speed limit just to save on fuel and just be safe. And it took him a while to realize that I was, signaling right. A lot of these things, when I approach the end of a 2-lane, just people are so slow to respond to my signal light and do something about it, and then they'll get impatient after. They'll try into one lane to pass, you know, and it's really their own lack of accessing their higher functions of their brain that now puts us more in danger. So again, there's a lot of defensive driving things that I've been documenting for many years now, including when I rode my old BMW motorcycle on the island, that makes it more dangerous for everybody on the road to actually be defensive, because the people primate's abilities to access their higher functions. And then I have to share a driver's license agreement with the province while everybody else, you know, doesn't honor the agreements. So anyways, the Canadian Pacific truck was nice. The tractor trailer, I realized why he'd been patient behind me when he passed, is he's on the phone. He's on his cell phone the whole time. He doesn't want to change gears and hold his phone. And I thought he was just patient defensive. No, he's your typical professional driver. Oh, Martin, if you were only a professional driver, if you were saving the economy from its toxicity by being a toxic professional driver, we would respect you, right? That's pretty much who you are as the Amo Comunia. So he passes me, and then after that we're in a new construction zone, and he's gone. I don't know where he is, man. He must have been flying through that one. And all the construction guy vehicles with the flashing yellow are freezing in their trucks, and I nod to them and they nod back. They're happy I'm not speeding. But will they turn their heads and try to get that guy's license plate because he's, you know, saving the economy? No, it's pretty sad. There was also a fisheries and ocean truck with a trailer passing me in the construction zone. You know, people with jobs. I don't think men of the people primates should drive vehicles with trailers. Statistically speaking, it is dangerous to allow men to drive with trailers, whether it's a tractor trailer for their job, which is so horribly slave related. There's so many fees that it's almost like expected that we could die in a tractor trailer crash, because they're trying to make their bottom line, because there's so much greed at different level of this industry that for them to earn a living in an unhealthy job, in part because of their bodies, their minds, you know, just sitting a long time, the dangers of the road and the conditions of winters in Canada, when we should be building during the Anthropocene a lot more train tracks that are updated and safer. And the intersections also related to the trains, and also avoid communities where if there's an accident that it's toxic. Avoid rivers with these train tracks as much as possible. Avoid where you will destroy the ecology of the world that you depend on more than your economy, but you're so unable to see the world as anything but a Monopoly game that you can't understand that basic concept. I wonder if you will devolve so quickly that as fetuses, you'll look for your wallets in your pants that you don't have, and you can't find your wallets, and you try to get out of your mother's after 6 months because you still think it's money that makes the world go round, and you're trying to get out of this healthy paradise that you're supposed to be in for your maturation, for your development. I mean, you're almost there. You're so failed as a species. Let me think of a couple more things I wanted to say. No, that'll be it. I'll just zip it for a few more seconds. You can enjoy the view, and you can say in a comment how that was your favorite part of the video, okay? Oh yeah, I passed a museum that said Motorcycle Museum, and I can't afford this. People think I'm a tourist. I can't afford to be a tourist. I'm looking for the elusive Homo sapien. It's expensive. Now, I'm not Robert Persig, and I may never write what is essentially close to the sequel of Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, but if anybody ever, when I'm famous, if not, or whatever, after I'm dead, and you want to redo the route that I drove, please stop in honor for me at the museum and let me know after I'm dead what it would have been like, you know, except that I'll be dead. Now, even if there was no fee to this museum, and if it was open, you know, I can't afford to just visit. You know, I have to go find a place that I think I'll plug in at night, and I have to plug earlier rather than later my vehicle. It takes a long time to warm up, you know, for a comfortable night.